Hello and welcome back. We've had a little bit of a break between episodes, but we're back with some more not amnesia, but some more Cedric swords. That's just tricky to say.
Tales of the Lost Empire. Did you say the Lost Empire?
The what? No.
Yes!
Well, welcome back. Last we left off, Cedric swords had been in a sticky situation in Fenrir's hold. Whenever they first arrived in Fenrir's hold, they had gone about some of their business. Remedy had broken operating party to deal with her things that she needed to take care of, where the rest of the party went to Lothrian's Tower, where they investigated the mysterious floor of Lothrian's Tower, which seemed to be extra-dimensional in nature. After fighting a bone devil, a chain devil, and finding the lost cartographer, Arthur Pennington, Cedric Swords had gone and left Lothrian's Tower, deciding that the adventures in there are a little bit too difficult to encounter at the moment and sought elsewhere. They had gone to the head of the capital district in Fenrir's Hold and cashed a paycheck from the Infinity County Hosh several months prior. And in response to this, the interim mayor had was going to ask the party to investigate the whereabouts of sealed of a one criminal in the eyes of the government at the time. Cedric Swords agreed to chase after Simon, though not necessarily to bring him justice, just to sort of figure out what had happened to him. A contact that you had met, Topless Keith, was supposed to be meeting you after your meeting with the interim mayor, but instead escaped with the associate, a figure known only as the associate, whom you were supposed to meet up with and potentially go in search for Simon with. Now, Thomas Keith, when he fled from Fenrir's Hold, you gave chase running throughout the streets, did battle with one of the other Death Knights that had been sent by the Smiling King, and had yourselves fled through the streets down into Topless Keith's mother's house, which seems empty at the time of your arrival, going down Eastmint and through the winding passage that led to the outside of Fenrir's Hold. That is where begin tonight's story. So Cedric Swords, you are currently outside of Fenrir's Hold. Back behind you, you see 30-foot tall walls that are behind you that kind of extend off to the east and the west of you. You hear behind you the sniper that is still on the streets of the gray streets in that district of Fenrir's Hold. The guards seem to be following you into this house. You can ignore this for now. This is going to come into play later. Cedric Swords. What would you like to do?
Well, I would like to pull out the map.
Okay.
Map time, map time, map time, map time. Okay, so we had two leads. We had the Benivets and let's get some. Does I have any clue? It is to which one you should go to. Benivets, Mesquita, Benivets.
Hey man, I'm just kind of rolling.
You just-
rolling.
You just exist.
I'm just here, man.
We have
what is?
What would be the difference in going to either one?
Well, Mesquita was more for like a personal, like there was someone I wanted to talk to. But Niamis is, if I recall correctly, that's where Simon may or may not be.
You recall that
It's also where it's also where Topless Keith may or may not have been going.
Topless Keith was
Or was
the
that
last you heard. Topless Keith was going in the direction of Mesquita.
That was the other one that was in Mesquita.
Benivitz is where Lord Halbrook.
That was the other one there, Lord Halbrook.
And that is where the Last Straw of Rebellion is currently clashing with the forces of the Kingdom of Paulist, and that is also the closest lead that you have to where Simon potentially could be.
Simon and Benivitz, Topless Keith and Mesquita. Simon. Demarch. And them up here. This is going to be a long, boys.
Maybe you probably should load up then.
Well, we can't really go back into town. Well,
Are we just gonna straight up go a long hike?
I mean, according to the map, it's going to be a long hike regardless of which way we go because the next town is like 6 days.
Oh shit. Trevor, man, I'm not from these fucking parts, man. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at the map. Map time. Other than that, we could try to go back into the city. Not going in.
I'll go for no.
It was a bad time.
I agree. Fuck that.
Do you want to go in the city and get supplies?
Yeah. So. I guess we can start going.
Looks like we're going to be marching north, following the road heading north.
Okay. There, and as you see, there is it's maybe about. It doesn't seem like it's too far away. It's maybe about 400 or 500 feet away, but you do see that there is a bit of a road that leads northward. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and start making your way along. Who's going to be marching order here?
I'll go in the front.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll go third lead. I'm sure Badger would probably be fourth lead.
Are you who's green?
I don't remember.
Taking the rear. Sure.
I'll be second to last.
Okay.
Wait. I guess you can't be other.
Well, it's not particularly necessary for this juncture. You're just leading the charge to get to the So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh, I got the whole last time. Shiny, click like my throats. They go, click like 18.
18? So as y'all are walking along, it is still the onset of winter. While there's no snowfall at the moment, it is very cold outside at the moment. And those without any cloaks feel a little bit of not sharp pain, a little bit of discomfort. And as you walk for maybe about a few mile passes, 2 miles pass, Zarek, you see off on the horizon, on the distant horizon, you see, you're not quite sure how far off, you see what appears to be a juncture, kind of at the base of a hill at the very far end of your vision. You see two roads that split. And you see also off to your right as you're heading northward, so this would be a little bit east of y'all, you do see the lake that extends as far as the eye can see over the horizon, to the distant living mountains to the east of y'all. And they're still a fair ways off. But you eventually walk quite a ways. As you're walking, Derek, you also notice
Good rolls.
a decent number of travelers that are going southbound, coming from the north, heading southbound, and they're maybe about a couple thousand feet away with your 18 roll, and your best guess is that within the next hour and a half or so, you'll likely pass them.
We can all drop now. Okay, well, I mean, we should make a little bit of a berth for the group is a little smaller. Just let it kind of pass. Yeah.
Yep. As you keep walking for the next couple hours, they eventually do seem to pass, and it seems to be just a single wagon. You see, yeah, it was difficult to judge being so far off, even with an 18 roll, but you do see that it is just a single wagon. It's not a covered wagon, so you are able to see kind of a little bit into the back of the wagon, but you're tall enough to see. There's a human man sitting, and with the reins in hand. You see just the one horse carrying, pulling the wagon. He seems to be a little bit older, not very old, maybe about his mid-50s, and he's got fluffy white beard that kind of extends mid-chest, and hair that kind of rolls back. Wears what appears to be a very large cloak, and what's the cloak? It's red.
Is it red?
It's a red cloak.
Is he kind of a roped hunt man?
He's a little bit portly.
This old guy.
And he just comes by and he just kind of tips a small hat to you.
Hello.
Well, hello. Good day, travelers.
Is it good roads ahead this way?
Where are you travelers heading?
We're going up to Benivitz.
Oh, on foot.
It's going to be a bit of a journey, yeah.
A bit of a trek. Well, a good eye is good for the soul. That's what I would say. Fetting coat. Do you have any coats on?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a impromptu journey.
Well, don't you want to go back to town and get some clothes?
Didn't really like Fenrir's Hall. A little too stuffy.
Not much of a city person, huh?
Correct.
Well, I'm feeling a little benevolent. Why don't you come on back? And you see him kind of whip up a tarp that had been covering the exterior of the cart. And he invites you over, and you can see the tarp. There's different wools, different colors, different furs as well that seem to be under this tarp. Well, getting close to the winter festivals, and it's all about gift giving. So, with a generous heart, I bestow upon you a gift. Please, if you would like a coat, take a coat.
That's appreciated.
Oh, you're very welcome, son. Come on, grab a coat, everyone grab a coat.
I'll just take one.
Oh yeah, just faster.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, looks like a little bit, is he okay?
It's fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, I must get on south. You folks have a wonderful day. And he continues on his way down the road. Walk for another couple hours before you get to what pace are you traveling at the moment?
I imagine we're just like
You're leading, so you change space.
just walking.
Just walking. Okay.
That's still not like amazing everybody.
In a day's you can travel about 18 to 20 miles a day at normal pace. And
I looked at it, it was 150 to the next town.
Yeah. And at the moment,
They forgot to add their jacket. to their inventory, so you can stay warm.
It's just a grizzly like pelt. Yeah, it's just a white grizzly pelt.
I literally grabbed the one that looked like a puppy coat.
You do have a very vibrant puppy coat.
Thank you so much.
And like this puffy coat too, just like overfluffed, so it's like kind of like
There's
just
little-
cover my ear. Like,
Yeah, a little bit of fur that just kind of
Yeah.
covers it.
You're-
It tickles your
yeah,
ear a
'cause
little
it's
bit,
like-
you
it's
get
like-
used to it, but yeah.
You're describing him, and I was like, "Is this Tim Allen?"
Tim Allen's
And then I was like,
Tim, what are you doing?
You're like, he wears a big coat. And I'm like, is it red?
That's right.
Yeah, Tim Allen, oh man. Yes.
So it's gonna take you at a normal pace. It's gonna take you to get to the next town up, which you're gonna go a survival check.
Okay, I'm kind of not okay. This is. Hold that. 10.
Yeah. So you, I mean, you have heard of the next town up, which is the town of Dire Marsh, the city of Dire Marsh, and you do know that it is about a going 18 miles a day. What was it? Keep on. I literally just looked at it.
miles a day, 6 days a week.
It's roughly well from Fenbeer's Hole to Dire Marsh. It's about well, so it's 150 miles. So it's a fair ways off. So you have about
We're about to walk in 8 days,
Yeah.
buddy. You're fucking get ready. Y'all ever want to play the Army Simulator game? We're about to march for 8 days straight. Let's
So-
get it.
You currently do have an 8-day march ahead of you at a normal pace. So if there's anything that you'd like to do on the days, we go ahead and speed up some of the
We can streamline some of
Yeah,
this.
streamline some of this. So, do you have rations at the moment?
Yes, we have the salted meat
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
because we didn't sell that.
Okay.
We have the other version. So we have it's a lot of salted meat
Yeah.
and it's in the bag.
Okay. So you do have enough rations to cover an 8-day journey for the rest of you. But on each day, we're just going to do a series of perception checks. So for the first day, who's going to be helming? And then right now, on the very first day, it's maybe about. It's getting closer to the evening. It's maybe about 4 o'clock in the evening before you actually start on your journey. So you'll only get maybe about 6 or 7 miles on this first trek before you get to dusk and nighttime. But as the first day kind of comes to a close, you watch as the sun is setting and it paints a really beautiful glow across the lake that is off to your right. Kind of past a fisherman who are just kind of casually lounging by the lake. A cart or two you see drives by. Nothing necessarily out of the ordinary. It's relatively evening. You do see some small precipitation. A very light snowfall begins covering the road that you're on. Which the road that you're on looks like it's a fairly wide. It looks like it can hold a decent size.
A decent size one.
A decent size one.
Yes.
It looks like it's maybe about in places it's up to about 30 feet wide at places, so it can fit maybe 2 or 3 carts going side by side at a time. Not that you see this, you generally see only carts going one at a time. None look particularly well
Wealthy.
wealthy. They do look like they have maybe the occasional guard with them as well. One thing that you do notice, you're still in the truck.
Yeah.
Go ahead, make another percentage check for me.
14.
14.
Wait, no, that's a 1. 8.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah. So you don't really see anything that are particularly wealthy. And you just see caravans that seem to be coming and going. Most of them seem to be going and going south.
Pretty. Yeah. I was gonna say, have I noticed anybody like passing us going this way?
No.
No.
Doesn't seem like anyone is really heading northward. It seems like most of the people that you encounter, you see maybe one or really only one person who is on a swift horse, and they seem to be jetting right by you. You don't really make out any details, but they seem to be in a full sprint northward. Most everyone else that you encounter are passing you and heading south, either to Fenrir's Hold or somewhere else south in the tallest. Dusk does draw near, and sun sets, and you still feel like you have quite a ways off, even before you get to the crossroads that branch off into the eastern road that leads towards Miskitsa, and the northern road that leads up to Dire Marsh.
Before it gets too dark, I would say we pull over in a nice little opening and set up a little camp.
Okay. And what are y'all setting up a camp with? Do y'all have materials?
I do have a camp. I will have a tent and a like flint and tinder.
Okay. So you go ahead and start setting up a
So
camp.
I have a tent.
And is that that's just a one person?
Yeah, it's a one person tent.
Alright, so what the rest of you do to set up for the evening's rest?
And that's because I have the explorer's pack that starts with the tent and the flint and tinder. So.
Yes, you do.
Actually, do have explorers back here.
Here's what are you doing to set up for the rest? You're currently, y'all have kind of pulled off. There aren't really too many trees along this side of the road. Looks like this bank of the river, sorry, of the lake doesn't have too much foliage. It looks like you have to get further north to get to any real tree cover. You do see several large bushes, and that's kind of where y'all have kind of moved up against. Yeah, it does appear
In this time that we've been walking.
Yeah.
The Vladimir would have done his thing with his Lehman's tiny hut.
Okay.
Because that was the whole reason he was getting it.
I don't think he had put enough time into.
I haven't got Glasgow yet.
We'll say he spends the next couple hours transcribing. It's not until well after dark that he is done with the spell. But eventually Vladimir does finish up and he does cast Lehman's tiny hut, and you see in front of you a large dome that just sort of sits and rests on the ground. With some of the leaves that's
The green grass around us,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it just kind of looks like a bush.
So you do have cover, kind of just a small little hut in the form of this dome. Is there anything else that you'd like to do preparing for your evening's rest?
No, I won't do anything else. I'll take like second watch.
Okay.
Is there any nearby foliage?
As far as the trees go, they're not gonna. You aren't gonna really encounter any trees.
We have to go a few hundred feet off the road.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But you are kind of settled up right next to what looks like to be maybe about a foot, it's about 5 tall, it's only about 4 or 5 feet wide. So it's not that there aren't any flora on the side of the road. It's just that it's not particularly lined with trees.
Gotcha.
This is not an arboreal path.
So I chose the Dungeoneer's pack, but I'm gonna wrap myself in a blanket and I'm gonna use that coat that old man gave me. That was like basically grizzly wrap was that. That's how I'm sleeping.
Well, the bonus to Leland's tiny hut.
Can I get my
Yeah.
phone over there? Can you get my phone from over there?
The bonus to Leland's tiny hut is the temperature inside is regulated.
Yeah.
Nothing inside.
That's still how I'm sleeping.
I'm just saying.
You do notice that some of the, as you are preparing and laying on the ground inside Lehman's tiny hut, you do notice that you are still sleeping on a thin layer of snow. And as it kind of melts a little bit, the ground gets a little bit sloshy, as it has been precipitating quite frequently the last weeks. But you do eventually come to a night's rest. So who's taking first watch? Or is anyone taking a first watch while we're in Lehman's tiny hut?
No.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
16.
16? Yeah. As you take your first watch, the only thing that you really notice in the hour or two that you are keeping track of the surrounding area is a number of small coyotes that begin rummaging around in some of the nearby bushes. You watch as some of them kind of creep out from some of the bushes. Most of these you see about 3 or 4 of them that are hiding in a bush, and one of them peeks its head out of the bush. You see on the other side of the road from where the coyotes are is a bit of a stretch of tall grass, which the coyote kind of goes down, takes a moment, and springs forward, and you watch them immediately. A rabbit bursts out of the tall grass and begins starting to and fro, and you watch as the other coyotes begin chasing after it. And you watch as it's basically a National Geographic documentary that you're watching right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's really the only thing that transpires throughout your watch. Is anyone taking a second watch?
I guess I'll take a second watch.
Go to roll perception check.
10.
Okay. So you, as this kind of pushes your shoulder and wakes you up, you
Trash can.
you come to consciousness and as you start to look around, you don't really notice anything in particular that draws your interest, except for a moment something catches you off guard and you realize you had noticed it before. A large wolf comes up from behind and you watch it. It's about 15 feet off. Slowly passes by. Gets up close to Lehman, to the edge of the hut, and sniffs very closely. You kind of are surprised that you were caught off guard by it. The wolf seemed to have snuck up on you.
You know,
And then I
little scatterbrain. Yeah. Just looking at my glass most of the time, knowing that nothing can come through the hut anyway, so I'm just like, whatever.
So, with the party being decided that it is, we're going to go ahead and say that 2 watches is all it takes to get requisite hours of a long rest as daylight comes and you are now on the first full length day of your trek. So you have 7.5 days left of your journey.
Nice.
Hey!
So for the sake of expediency in this first leg of this trek, would anyone like to take helm of the party and make a perception check for the first leg of this trek? Go ahead and make a perception roll. So I'd say passes more, so it's more the same, more walking. Eventually you get hungry, take a small 15-minute break, and snack before you get back on the trail. Snowfall from the night before seems to have melted with the morning sun and the midday sun and the early afternoon sun, and eventually night games again. And we'll go ahead and do another perception check for this second night. Just one perception check, and whoever wants to.
That was
so
just like 11, 20, 28, 20.
It is like
It's
so.
like when the ball
13.
wants to land
Yeah.
on red, and then it just black.
So 13.
13?
Yes.
Still not bad.
Yes.
Ritualistically, you watch as Vladimir begins casting William's tiny hut again. And you follow his secrets.
What if we cast this thing? What does he cast?
It's more than mine.
I hope there's a slight difference in these. I hope there's
The tune.
I want him to pee in a circle. He just stands in a circle and then just does a pirouette real fast. It's just like,
And from that, the arcane energy. And you see a hut before you. A pea-colored and slightly
and
smelling.
two little hands pop up and go.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, as you are inside the dome, there is that faint scent of like a dog who peed on the side of the couch. Looks like it smells like that's the hut.
The ground.
The ground. It smells.
Smells earthy.
Oddly enough, it smells like the smell of earth is a welcome sight. Or a welcome smell out of earth. But you do notice as the night progresses.
So this is the night one, right?
This is the night of the first day. You are settled in, and now you're getting to a little bit more. There are some small patches of trees that are dotting the landscape now, so you are able to settle up underneath a bunch of 2 or 3 trees. So there is somewhat cover, and as you watch, you don't see anything that catches your eye, and so you hear maybe about 20 feet into you. Crunch. Crunch.
As soon as I heard the first crunch, I kind of like crispy grass.
Okay.
My short was completely distracted.
Yeah, you look around and you start to see that a wolf has snuck up on you in the night.
And let me speak with animals. Where's your wants?
He watches a wolf.
I hold my ground still.
Well, you're currently inside the hut, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Oh, guys, I didn't know it was not the watch.
Yeah, it doesn't see
I thought we were out
back
back.
to the side, but it's
It can't hear. It doesn't block sound. So when he asked the question, it would have just been like, "What the fuck?"
yeah. Do you look at is it?
Imagine you're just walking through the woods. It's just, hey, what?
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Just kind of trail off, not taking any particular interest.
It's Margaret's territory, just walk off.
The moon slowly fades and the sun rises again. We are currently on the second day of the trip. Something that has been noticeably different is there are more trees that are dotting around. And the land has become, even though the land was a mixture of soft and kind of gave a little bit way to footfalls with the snowfall that had kind of seeped into the water table. more and more it gets a little bit sloshier.
So, question about the landscape. You said there are dry trees. How's the actual like geology? Is it like more plains, rolling hills?
Whenever you're staying, so if you're on the road, it is fairly level. If you look maybe about 100 or so feet to your right, as it gets closer to the lake, there is a little bit of a dip off that kind of cascades to the shoreline. To your left, westward facing, there is a little bit of a rise, but it doesn't really get into. You watch as closer to the horizon. There is a bit of a lift, so everything is fairly plain at the moment. You do still see off to the far east. There is there is still a mountain range. Yeah. So on the second day of the journey, who would like to helm the party's trek?
I'll try.
Go ahead and make a perception.
No.
23.
Damn.
Oh,
Ranger being a ranger, there you go.
Ranger being the guy.
Natural explorer.
So at the moment,
As
y'all. Oh,
Natural explorer.
Natural explorer.
well, that's only for. What's your favorite terrain?
Like forest.
Forest. Okay.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah. So that would only really. I wouldn't for it, but.
Gotcha.
But being a ranger, you do have a natural proclivity to the wild itself. You do actually spot, as you are trekking along, peering out into the east, overlooking the. It's a little more south looking now, as you're kind of getting on the north shore of the lake. Looking out just on the horizon in the north. It's your best guess, maybe about 200 feet off. Or sorry, not feet. Actually, I'd say about 600-700 feet from where you are currently standing right now. You swear you see what appears to be a large fin that kind of comes up and splashes out in the water. It looks at this distance like it could be very large. And for a moment, you're quite thankful you're not out on the lake right now. But everything else passes without much affair. You do see a similar string of caravans and wanderers who are heading from the north to the south, likely to Finnair as well. A few of them appear without very much in the way of gear. And it strikes you as odd, seeing as how you and your party have quite a bit of gear in preparation for this journey. Even though you did a little preparation, you are prepared nonetheless with all the food that you have, the large ones that were so generously given by this man. You see that some of these folk aren't wearing much clothing, don't appear to be too dressed for the weather.
Look like they're flame.
Potentially, your best guess is it looks like they had left in somewhat of a hurry. Some of them are on foot, some of them are in wagons.
Hasty retreat.
Other than that, do not really cross into any conflicts with anything. Is there anything else you'd like to do during the day, or are we good to go into the evening's rest?
No, because I was like whittle.
You can if you want, just kind of aimlessly.
I mean, we're by like the coast, shore, right?
It's just from a lake. It's but you already coast to coast of the northern shore of the lake.
It drops. The road drops down.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So someone take a watch for the egress.
17.
17? As night comes, you are finding more and more trees as there's more overhang. Some stretches of the road throughout the day you noticed had maybe patches of 1.5 to 2 dozen trees that were lining the road. And these are pulled off into some of these. There is a fair cluster of trees that are surrounding you at the moment. And at some point during the evening, Zarek, you notice far off, you see something dash between two of the trees. And you watch as you kind of hear from behind you another and you see maybe about 70 to 80 feet off through the tree line, you see what appears to be a large wolf. So you have one on the front, one on the back. And you're able to see them peering out through the hut. The blacks again ritualistically key
Paid.
out.
That's what they're catching.
That's what they're actually set up.
Yeah.
As you're just attracting them.
Yeah.
They just appear, they don't appear to be moving closer at this point. They just seem to be.
Pull out a little piece. Pull out a little piece of the salted meat. Toss it out there. So there's okay. We're still 8 hours still. He gets up and leaves. We're good.
You watch as
Maybe they'll fight.
a third appears a little bit closer by, maybe about 20 feet away, and you watch as this one very quickly leaps towards it. He begins tearing up the meat, and kind of pause at the hut, and you kind of hear this strange, it's night, and it hasn't been charred. There's the sound of scraping, hard scraping, as the wolf's claw paws against the outside of the hut. And then it seems to give up, and it seems to
I'm just being an asshole. Long walks away. Just fun.
So the third day dawns, and at this point, you are walking along, and you, who's going to be homing this? Alright, make a perception check.
I should know my notes right now are day 1, night, wolves. Day 2, big fish. Night, more wolves.
It's a code. It's gotta mean something. 12.
As you're walking along, nothing really seems to jump out at you as the day progresses through the early morning, late morning, midday. Around midday, you do actually spot the crossroads ahead of you, about 300 feet off. You see what appears to be a cart that seems to be kind of pulled off maybe about 50 or so feet. And doesn't seem to be moving or anything. It just seems to be stationary at the moment. Not really able to garner any details about it. It's covered though. And there does seem to be a figure that seems to be kind of jumping in and out, doing whatever your best guess is, but it seems to be getting in the cart and out of the cart, kind of moving about.
It's midday.
Maybe about
It's not
1 o'clock or so.
As long as it's not night, we're okay.
So what am I witnessing getting in and out of that?
Just a figure. It's too far away and quite able to really discern
Yeah.
any of the physical features, other than it looks humanoid.
Oh,
Not quite sure what the race is. Could potentially be human or
okay. Yeah, interesting.
Or it could be a dead lich.
dribbling.
Definitely could like speculate further, be closer. You know, traveling basically that ship.
You are.
Yeah. So.
I guess I'll be ready in case he's no good.
No good.
What to say?
I love it though.
It just appears to be a card. I don't know if it's who it is. It's just someone in a card. I don't know.
It could literally be anybody. Might be a friend.
Very true.
Let us move forward. My fists up.
So you approach and
Right now.
at this point, go make a tip check.
8. No. 9.
9. It currently has what appears to be a cloak up.
Has a figure.
Has a figure.
Does in fact.
Is humanoid.
Is a thing.
But definitely does have a hood up and it's obscuring the face a little bit too much as
Does it look like it could be 3 kobolds stacked on top of each other?
potentially. It does seem to have a fairly spry movement towards it. But you're not really able to garner facial details. But yeah, it does kind of stop, turn, and it doesn't seem to really say anything. It doesn't wave or anything, but it does seem to acknowledge your presence and continues jumping in and out of the car and doing whatever.
Hello! Person.
The figure kind of stops, gets out of the cart, turns around, pulls the hood back, and if you would like to describe,
Oh, hi there, cool.
if you would like to describe,
That's nice.
roll that.
Roman would have. Yeah, because I don't know where he would be wearing his necklace. He would be, he'll look like a half elf. If a half elf was on fire all the time. But the fire was it's just fire, and honestly. His name is Roman Coldfire. He's out adventuring right now, so he would be currently wearing like hard leather armor, crossbow on his hip, sword on his other hip. That's about it. Club up. Well, down now, I guess.
Yep.
Well, now I'm gonna have a conversation with myself. We're talking about
You watch the figure approach. Oh, friend! We are. You. Who are you?
Oh, well, wait. Zarek's currently in disguise, though, isn't he? You wouldn't recognize him. Yeah, 'cause-
They are both currently in disguise
Yeah.
from each other. Would you like to? Do you need help? Is your car?
Well, I mean, yes, the wheel fell off, but your voice. Where are you from, sir?
Oh, a long way away. You would not believe this story.
What did happen to me?
How do you? Are you a
He
fucking?
would take his necklace off.
Holy shit! Roman! It's me.
Hey. Oh.
So just gonna drop his disguise.
Oh. Hello.
Hello! That's his. What the hell are you doing out here, man? This is.
You're alive.
Yes. I am alive.
Where did you go? You left the order.
Yes, I did leave the order. But listen, there's a lot of fucking bullshit to be completely honest, and I just want to figure it out.
Is it about Sigmund and the training?
Well, he's not the best, you have to admit. He could be better.
Well, I would beg to differ at this point, sir. I mean, it's amazing that you're alive.
Well, I have a lot of really cool stuff that has helped me. Like I have this kind of shows in the tail. I have this really cool thing on my tail that I wear sometimes, and it's kind of puncturing things. And I've got these really cool bits of glass that lets you through the astral planes, and it's just really cool and shit.
It is awesome.
Yes.
Well,
And these are my friends. Citrus, everyone, introduce yourself. This is my friend Roman. He's from the of Barossa now.
I'm Demetrius.
Oh, that's our friend. He's a little bit sick right now. What's his name?
Hey man, good morning.
Morty. Upstanding. Even better. All of the M's
Just all of them.
in the sequence. Oh, glad. You're exquisite. They're just huge.
Thank you so much. Listen, man.
What is your regimen?
Can't we get fucking curses? Just.
Oh, it's the curse I need.
Thanks for reminding me, man. It's like really hurts to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. He watches Black Mirror, just kind of just takes a few steps off and just kind of thinking, like, has his like head in his hand and is just like kind of rocking himself a little bit.
Well, where are you not heading? It's weird. Steve is getting the other way.
We are on a mission to find a friend who is in a lot of trouble, who has may or may not be trapped in a pocket dimension, being held captive by a Fey Lord. That is a lot of process. That's a lot.
He's gonna roll an inside check.
Okay.
He rolled a natural 20. So.
Is there something he's telling the truth right now? Part of it is to really believe the facts. You definitely know that Zarek is lying.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yes.
It's been busy.
Yeah. Like we've all done a lot of really cool shit. Like he killed a dude. He killed a dragon. That was really fucking cool.
Oh, dragon.
So he got punched it off by hitting it in the butt.
I mean, that would have also been fairly entertaining as well.
Yes, but no, he chopped the head off and just kind of flew off. But well, we've all killed a lot of people. A lot of people.
It's true.
Yeah.
Kind of got thrown up by the Fey Lord.
Yeah,
So
man, super weird.
he's yet to really
You
prove
keep
himself.
you keep saying Fable.
Yes.
Do you have a name for this gentleman?
What is his name?
Smiling.
Yeah, that one.
You just visibly just see him completely change demeanor. Okay, well, where's your friend? Where are we heading?
It's about that. Actually, it's the thing that you stole out.
Oh yes?
This was a lot for me, and I really like Simon. I think he's a cool dude. I think you all are cool dudes. In the wise words of an old person I used to know, fuck this shit, I'm out.
That was Mr. Jesse. Yes. He was profound. Well, to inform you, after my training was completed, Sigmund returned for you. You were gone.
Well, now I feel a little shitty.
So, I mean, if you return, they would be fairly impressed that you even lived.
Would they probably take me back into the order?
Sigmund would definitely take that because he like what he said.
Because listen, I think I ran into my dad a couple days ago, or weeks ago, and he's like kind of a demon dude, and he's also made of bones, and He's a devil, man.
Yes,
He killed us
They
all.
would probably very much.
And I'd like to not die by him next time I fight him because we kind of pissed him off.
I believe that would be.
Well, here, listen, you should probably take all this shit because this is like, look, this is so fucking cool. Orochina gave me this. You know,
It's just a piece.
Hold out
It's
a
just
piece of glass.
glass. You just gonna take a glass of glass.
Yeah, everyone else.
And I'm
knows
just
what
gonna
to
go
do
with the
it.
same insight because I was gonna insight check this when he handed it to him too, but there's no point. So I rolled a natural 20, so he knows he's just telling the truth this whole time. So he's just gonna let it go.
Yeah, you know, like kind of sit there and it took me a long time to figure this shit out, but you
It's
kind of just
taken
have to
so long.
sit there and look, just like think out your thoughts about the situation now.
So many.
And,
So
are you being facetious?
You know how it is.
Okay,
How often has there ever done anything?
on a scale from 1 to 10, like number of times, like maybe 2 times.
See, that's why I don't really put much faith in it anymore. I believe everything you said up to this point. You've been telling the truth so far. So
Personal
sure,
improvement
you gave-
challenge, you know, like, you know.
The long dead God gave it to you.
Yes.
Sure.
Do it that you will. Boyos? I feel like I need to go and do some soul searching. We fought a lot of shit.
Can I see that?
We saw a lot of shit, and I met my dad, I think, and he's a devil, and that was a lot to process. So if you don't mind, I think I'm going to go and be myself for a little bit.
Well, if you would like to go see Sigmund, you could find him at the Order in Vale.
Well, okay, listen, I vouch for him. He's a pretty cool dude. He's like if you took like Val Kilmer from the 80s and also took like Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 80s and then thirdly took like Tom Cruise from the 90s. Also like from the
Like he's really building me up here.
and then also if you took like
James McAvoy.
or like
Polly Shore.
maybe Sylvester Stallone from the 80s, or maybe like what was his name, Van Damme? Yeah. So
down, man. You cannot be a junk all that day.
look, he's pretty cool. He's not even a jump off Van Damme, but he's pretty cool.
Really, man. You can get name dropping over here.
So here's the thing. I have been searching for this smiling king man for a few years at this point. And if you guys have a lead, I have a cart. There's no horses on this cart, is there? It's just a cart.
There is a single horse.
Because I would like to think that this was one of his stupid things that he was working on, and that's why he was just jumping in and out. There's no horse, and he was just trying to like get it to work. Like, no, it was going a second ago. It was going. He went for like.
Well, back, there is a horse there.
I guess it's in next sentence.
Have a cart. Can fit him. Who is this?
Yeah, you should probably put him down. He looks like he's about to tap out. But listen, he is one from my order. And have I ever let you guys experience anything? Actually, on second thought, don't, because I know y'all are gonna mention the ship. We don't want to talk about the ship.
Oh, there was a ship.
Yeah,
You have a boat?
I was a captain of a ship.
Really?
Yeah, it's
The order.
I'm pretty fucking cool.
Did you buy the ship?
we may or may not have stolen it a little bit. Like half stole it, half bought it, half said like maybe we'll buy it again later.
From
Way Russian now.
I don't know
About that, but that was my god level. So, you know, I kind of need to go. Oh goodness, what else? It's so gross. Yes. So, if you want to find me, I mean, good luck. I'm gonna be a little far away.
Roman will hand him a stone. Very small. Little runes on it. It's a message stone.
Well, thank you. That is.
Keep this on you. If you need to find a group, or us, or me, if I them, I'll leave it with them. Hold the stone quickly. Say, "Yeet it, bitch," and then speak the words you want to say to me. Can I say 25 words?
Type real quick.
Sure.
Okay. Yeeted bitch. Hello. This is Eric.
Then I'm just like, hello, this is Eric.
Is it a
Yeah, so back.
feedback?
And then I take
Oh shit, fuck. Ah, god,
put
no,
it in my
damn it.
pocket.
Ah, shit, fuck. Ah, okay. Well, that is really cool. Again, it is an honor to be a part of Citric Swords. Please don't revoke my membership. I'd like to come back at some point, maybe. But this was a lot of shit. I'd like to respectfully go and train some more.
He regretfully admits.
You watch as Zarek,
Goodbye.
the flourish turns, begins hitting.
Spends all 6 of his key points and just
It
fucking
just steps of the
just
wind.
steps of the wind for fucking like a mile. Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog, like
As he's running, he's like, "This ain't longer, it'll just hurt more."
Oh no! You watch as the tears just kind of stay in place as they get a nice little puff of smoke, or puff of dust from where.
There's always one for dramatics.
Where?
This town is shit. My brain just went fart mode.
It's about. You have.
It's still
3.5 days.
yeah, like 3.5 days worth of journey, but well. What time is it? It's like what?
Just a little after midday, maybe about 2 o'clock.
Do you want to press on today or take a rest for the rest of it?
It's y'all's call. I'm here.
You're so rude.
I don't know who you are, man.
Well, what would you like to know about me?
How do you know Zarek?
Oh well. So let's say like in terms that's easy to understand at the table, Zarek was a freshman and I was a senior. And when I graduated, my master was supposed to take Zarek and train him, but Zarek ran away because he was a crybaby.
Is that how it went?
It was just literally. Zarek straight up left the order because he was like, "I'm not getting trained. This is stupid. I'm gonna go and get training on my own." And now he's been out here for about 6 months, and he's like, "Man, life is fucking hard." You know what I should have done? Yeah. So that's what happened.
Nice.
But yes, he's. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a great kid.
I didn't mean to take that. That was just very sudden.
It seems as if y'all had been friends for a while.
Yeah, we've seen some shit.
Well, if it's anybody's I have also in fact seen some shit. You notice looking at his arms, he's covered in tattoos. And just tattoos of, it looks like ghosts.
Yeah.
Like little spirit things.
Yeah.
Tons of supplies. That's about it. I've seen a lot. I've killed at least one demon king, and no, that's about it. That was a lucky shot. Sigmund really.
So, I guess I derailed this. I can't even remember what you asked me.
Where we were going.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
And if you wanted to take a break, or were left for it.
well, I guess that's up to the party, really.
Onward we press. Apparently.
For the rest of the day, not much
progress for Father.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little more stern.
Yeah.
The rest of the day, not much goes askew or awry, but you do now have a cart.
All kinds of shit on it.
As you look into the back of the cart, you see that there are a number of boxes, dozens and dozens of boxes, and you see strewn among, intermingled with some of the boxes, filling up the space. Little handheld bits of gearwork, small clocks that have strange mechanisms on them, different ons and ends, small gears, larger gears, just kind of strewn about haphazardly. A little bit of a fire hazard, but
That is very stretching it.
but you do see what looks to be in there. What it looks like the beginning of it looks like a horse skeleton, but made with different bits of iron and metal and steel. It seems to be a horse head that's maybe about this large. And you see bits of metal plating that begin to be carved and slapped onto the wiring. But yeah, the rest of the day goes without much incident as we are getting for the third night. Who's going to be taking watch?
Take a look.
Okay, go ahead and roll for a perception check.
11.
11. Okay. So, in addition to having the cover of the cart, Vladimir still casts the hut. Is everyone in the hut, or are people in the cart as well?
Wait.
I'm most likely in the hut.
Okay.
I'll still
Cart. And Vladimir is going to be in the cart as well, or in the hut.
Hut, yeah, it's in the hut. I'm on the cart because I'm currently tinkering on the horse skeleton.
Okay. I'm in the hut, and he's in the hut as well.
He's in the hut.
He's in the hut.
He's in the hut.
Badger's in the hut.
Badger's in the hut.
Badger's in the hut.
Badger's in the hut.
Could you do me a solid?
Give me some more water.
No. Could you please take me home my car? I need to go home and I need to sleep because I have work tomorrow. And
Oh, you gotta work in the morning?
I need to rest right now.
Well,
I just hate to like interrupt this.
give me 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's
Gotta-
It's only 10. Okay, go ahead. I'm almost there.
He's gonna tell me.
So, as the rest of you are you're tinkering right now, go ahead and make a perception check for me as well. At disadvantage.
14.
14? Okay. Yeah, you are currently within it's a fairly easy environment inside the little covered wagon that you have. You have what looks like a little bit of a makeshift desk there that kind of serves as a workshop, and you have bits of boxes that are kind of hanging and dangling from the little, I don't know what you call them.
Yeah.
From the rafters, I guess, of the cart. And go ahead and make a dexterity check. Yeah, go ahead and make a dexterity check with your proficiency.
Okay. That's seven.
As you are kind of tinkering away, you're not quite. It's the cold from the outside is making your joints stiff. And even though you're still inside the wagon, you're not able to really fit the screws into the right rivets and everything.
Damn it!
Good call.
And-
Good call.
So with Malachi keeping on, you notice.
Killed.
In our wait, so you're
I've been
you're on the
killed.
cart or you're in the hut?
No, I'm not. I'm in the hut.
You're in the hut.
Yeah.
So
Two alternatives.
you notice a little bit too late as four large wolves
Just keep becoming more.
Yeah.
currently coming from Jarlwick.
So, I'm in the car.
So this is the road right here, and you see four large wolves that are.
Used to be called.
No. But instead of look.
Oh, you look half up. Okay.
Four large wolves.
I don't know.
Like it was 11:30. You beat home last Friday midnight. You're gonna turn your pumpkin.
I felt so fucking scared for no reason. Like, I was shivering. I feel good now. I'm just fucking.
As they are currently walking towards the cart.
Side note, DM note, because I'm actively hunting the Smiling King, I've managed on survival checks to track him, and I can't be surprised by fake fiends or
These are all. No, just
I'm like, well, in case they were fables for me, like
Yeah.
I would detect them upon them coming into range.
Just
30.
got him.
Not that big of a range.
And with that, I want to go ahead and take a break. I want to put it up to the table. Everyone seems a little bit tired right now, and I know I want to get rolling into combat. But if we wanted this for next week's session, we can all come back in with hopefully a little bit more energy and jump into some good combat. But if we go ahead and call it for the night, I think I'm going to be a little bit heavy armor, as I also work tomorrow and I have a long day.
I gotta come in and make your damn sandwiches.
I'm making the sandwiches.
I'll still be there.
You'll still be there, bro. I'm gonna sit myself.
Damn
Hey,
you.
you're still gonna split it though, aren't you?
Right?
You're still gonna split it, so.
Still gonna split it.
It's coming on my paycheck.
Oh, that's right. You're
It's my employee too. But with that, with the looming swarm, or with the looming wolves approaching,
I'm gonna assume 14 did detect them.
you are currently tinkering away. But next week is going to be some really fun combat.
Damn it.
Anyway, that is all that we have time for the evening. As we all have plenty of stuff to do tomorrow and for this upcoming week. But when we come back next week, our new character Roman is going to come in and whoop ass. But thank you very much for joining us. This is going to go up like usual. It's going to go up on our YouTube. So yeah, thank you. And hope you have a good Thanksgiving. To all of our lovely viewers, all like one of them.
Nice.
I think that one is you.
I know. That's exactly what it is. Anyway, thanks much. And back next week.